But I'm just pushing back a little bit on this talking point I keep hearing from people that a Trump arrest is going to lead to a backlash. I see no evidence of that. I hope that's the case. I've now lived through many of these promises of boomerangs, and they don't seem to materialize. What do you see?
I think that it's a bit more complicated than that. In terms of nomination polling, since a little bit before the midterm, after the midterm, and then, in the couple of months that have developed since, this decline in Ron DeSantis' support has been weeks in the making, Charlie. I'm trying to put this right, but there had been some other things that had gone on, and I mean, we could talk specifically about them, but people started to question, whether he had the right people around him, who was funding him, things like this that really started to, raise people's eyebrows. I'm talking about voters. And then over the weekend, the silence, and then Monday, kind of confirming it was a very structured response, a very managed response. Mm-hmm. That's just not, look, I know a lot of people out there support Ron DeSantis, and that's great. I'm telling you what I see in the polling. This was a confirmation of what some people were worried about. And let's get real for a second. This is why Ron flip-flopped on Ukraine. Because he saw the decline in the polling as well. It's not just me, it's everyone. They obviously saw it, and they felt they needed to do something about it. And they tried to address this issue of Ukraine, which wasn't handled great either. And at the end of the day, I think on Sunday, Charlie, it was perfect timing. I mean, I did intentionally try to catch this because of the news of the indictment. I think the silence led to a very bad night for Ron DeSantis in our interviews, and it was the one time Donald Trump ever hit 60%. He has never been as high as some of the other polls out there in the nomination polling. He's never been as high as that, or in our polling, he's never been as high as others, is what I'm really trying to say. He ranges from a low of 43 to a high of 52. We've never had him at 55, 58, like some of these other polls have had.